One of my students asked me, does happily ever after really exist? Have you ever met anyone who has got in union with someone, they've got married or in some kind of a romantic relationship, and then they have really stayed happy and everything is good? Does it really exist? Happily ever after is just a concept. It's the fantasy of human mind because we are always in search of happiness, and we want to believe that someone outside of us or some event outside of us is going to create the happily ever after. But there is a way of actually maybe not happily ever after, but maybe happily every day together we can create. And I think it is important, first of all, to drop our expectation of such concepts. We are dealing with human beings. They are dynamic, they are evolutionary, they're continuously changing, and not only them, but we are also continuously evolving and changing. So let's say if I had my vows with someone 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago, for me to expect that person to remain the same as I saw him 10 years ago and never change is very, very unjust and unfair. And so is my expectation of myself, that if I do not grow. So what happens is when two people come together, when they decide that, okay, this is the person that I want to be with, and nowadays, probably I don't mind sharing the password of my app. Before, the whole concept of loyalty and being with one person, being faithful, having a relationship that is honest, was very different. There were very limited choices. There were not too many avenues of exploring things outside of a community, and that sense of wanting to belong and want to be honored by the community was far greater than even the love within the relationship. So now things have changed. We have 100 ways of communicating with the world outside of our own little family. There are too many temptations, there's so many opportunities, there's so many apps, there are so many ways of meeting people, and we are getting to know that there are people who are very, very different, or there are people who match our imagination, and we don't have to settle down. Is this idea of that I want to explore many more people because I see a lot of other stuff which seems interesting, exciting outside of my union, is this idea correct? It is not. This is a false reality. It is a false way of looking at life, because eventually we all are looking for that deep connection, that sense of belonging, where you want to remain with one person, but you want to have peace and harmony with that one person. You don't want to struggle with that person. And because anyways the stressors in our life has really increased, we are continuously looking for someone or some place where we feel home. And then while we are searching, we are also being opened up to a gamut of stuff that can be really fantasizing, can be really imaginary, can be really, I would say, exciting, and probably even very tempting. It's like how much of different choices of food you have now. So you do not want to have the same Chinese every day or the same Italian every day. You want to explore. But here we need to understand it is different, and it is. But all of this, whether we are looking for a new taste in food, we are looking for a new taste in life, or it is a partnership or a romantic, exploration, it is all in our mind. The same way that if you're a foodie, you still can go on a diet, or you can still balance your intake of food, or you can still balance how you want to maintain your health. It is all in our mind to be able to balance the health of our relationships. And it is not only romantic, it can be business partnership, it can be friendships, it can be with your siblings, with your children. But right now we are talking about a romantic relationship. So the idea of happily ever after is about how willing you are to make every day a happy choice. And to be able to do that, you need to be willing to understand that both of you would be changing both of you would be evolving. Both of you will have different way of looking at life as you age and as you see more of life and you understand more of you. As we age, we also understand more of who we are. So a lot of things that happen outside the union, outside the marriage, which we call infidelity, is because the person realizes that he or she can be a different version of himself or herself with that new person, and doesn't have to put a facade all the time. So ideally, when we are looking for a partner or when we are in a relationship, we must train each other and ourselves to become more and more authentic, to create that space of no judgment, and to create that space of homecoming where we can be exploring all aspects of ourselves, the dark, the good, the bad, the ugly, the light, whatever it is, and we are sure that this person can accept, can handle the parts of me that are unknown, that have been unknown till now. As we move forward in life, there is so much we would know about ourselves, and there's so much we would know about our partner. Are we ready to sit and have those difficult dialogues with each other? Are we ready to have those tough conversations? And if you think you're going to get into a partnership with someone and it's going to be just this person and you will never be tempted outside of your union, there would never be any attraction outside of your union, you're going to be married to someone for 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, whatever it is. If obviously no one wants to get married to get divorced, no one wants to be married to be separated. If we are thinking of being with someone, it is because we have thought through it, how much ever we have thought through it, and we want to be with this person, we want to share our life with this person. And then differences come up. Differences come up because we don't resolve them as and when they must be. We keep piling up stuff, we keep hoarding stuff emotionally, mentally, we keep judging ourselves and our partner, and we don't look at things and we don't resolve and solve the matter as and when it shows up, and sometimes it becomes too late. So you should be able to choose a partner, but if you're already in a partnership, obviously that's different, that you can be your true self with that person. You can really share the dark side of you, the good, and of course it can be hurtful to the other person if you're attracted to someone else. But if you discuss it, if you trash it out, and if your partner, and if you have made your partner feel safe enough to tell you how they are feeling, because it is hurtful, it is painful, it is very uncomfortable to know that your partner is attracted to someone else. But if we can have these dialogues and we can resolve them in time, and we can also understand this is human psyche, and it is not about someone wanting and planning to be unfaithful, planning to have an affair, planning to go out and meet different people. It is about that these things are possible. Now how together we should work on this issue so that we minimize the risk of any one of the two partners going out. If we can do this, and if we can explore who we are and be able to actually show and demonstrate who we are, we can be our true self, and the new versions that we discover, we can actually be open to let the other person know about it, and also receive the other person as they evolve and as they change. Then you can create a life that is happy one day at a time. And when you look back in hindsight at your life, and you look back all the ups and downs you have been together, then you can say at that point that I have had a happily ever after life with this person. But if you think you just meet a person and then it's going to be all hunky-dory and all rosy, that's not a possibility. Let's drop our expectations, let's upgrade our level of understanding, and let's really pull up the socks and decide that I am going to be authentic. I'm going to allow my partner to be authentic, and I am deciding to have very clear communications which are authentic, real, truthful, radically honest, and then I will take it from there. And I'm sure if your approach is this, then one day you can refer to your partnership, to your romantic life as the happily ever after, but later, not in the beginning.